Hey guys, my nickname's the Hassle, not Hasselhoff. So if you have a dirty pool that you were too lazy to maintenance all year and you decide to swim in it and you're drowning, I'm not going to be able to save you. Let's avoid that and hit up our sponsor, Castro's Pool Service and Repair. Give them a call at 209-675-5418. That's Castro's Pool Service and Repair, 209-675-5418. I'm not Hasselhoff. I'm not going to save you. Hit up our sponsor. I love you. Enjoy the episode. And don't forget to subscribe and like and share, if that made any sense. Enjoy the episode, guys. Love you. Peace. 99. 99, dude.
Dang.
Yeah.
What was that episode? My bro Chris were on before. Do you remember? Did I have a number?
That was like 30. I could check it out.
30? It's been a minute. Now I freaking live over here.
No, I know. Were you living here when we first?
No, bro. I was staying in Sunnyvale and I slid over and then, shoot, I'm here now.
So introduce yourself. You're a one champion fighter now. But when we first interviewed, you weren't one.
No,
were you?
I was with, okay. So first of all, my name is Anthony Doe. The last time we were doing that first podcast, that first episode with my brother, I was signed to the One Championship Warrior Series, which is like, like in UFC, they have, what's that? The Contender Series, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like their version of that, the Warrior Series. So like, but in the UFC, when you go to the Contender Series, it's like a one-night show. They have like maybe 5 bouts on the card, and whoever shows out, like you got to win, obviously.
Yeah.
But if you have a good performance, then Dana White will offer that contract, right, to the actual UFC roster. And it might be multiple. He might hand out multiple contracts. But with the One Warrior Series, how it worked is you're signed to like a 3-bout contract. Okay, and you got to obviously perform, I think, fight out that contract. And on that last fight, you got to win. And then you can win that 6-figure contract to the actual One Championship roster.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was signed to that
And
to
then
the Warrior
you
Series.
had your first one. You had a war
Yes.
against how do you say his
Lito Adiwong.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you had a war against him. You lost by decision.
Yeah.
It was split or was it unanimous?
I don't recall.
Yeah, but you ended up losing that one, and then right after that, like that was when the pandemic hit, right?
Yeah, actually, that was in August, and I had multiple fights scheduled after that for the Warrior Series. So I was still getting one or two fights.
When was that episode? That was forever ago.
Dude, you scrolling?
Yeah.
You backtracking? Dude, it had to be what, like,
Oh, yeah, right here.
what's the date?
Episode 27.
27.
Right there.
Oh, it's right here, bro.
August. You did see
I didn't even see this going on.
Episode August 16th.
The
no.
Doe Brothers.
Yeah. The dope
Sick.
brother, because your brother was here too.
August 16th. Wow.
Yeah.
How crazy. Oh, you know what?
Yeah. So you went to the UFC, did all that, and then at the time when we did the interview, you didn't know where you're gonna go, right? Because one series wasn't hitting you up, and then
Yeah.
you had.
I was just trying to take fights, dude.
Yeah.
Because I think the thing about my, I'm not even sure if I can talk about the contract in full.
No, you don't
but
have to talk about
all
the
right,
contract.
But basically, I'll say this. I had the opportunity to take fights outside the promotion
Yeah.
if they were approved by them, So I was trying to take fights like wherever I could. More recently was Mexico and then LFA. But these fights didn't work out pretty much.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting a call back like right before the whole pandemic popped off, dude. I had scheduled a bout. I signed it and everything. I was supposed to fight this.
It was in Mexico, right?
No,
Or no?
for the Warrior Series.
Oh
Yeah, I had a fight booked. I was gonna fight Dave Benguigui. He's out of the Philippines. He fought in the Warrior Series as well. He's riding a pretty good win streak. And we were supposed to fight the end of April. Okay?
Yeah.
And then, like, all this stuff started popping off March. I signed the contract the next week. I'm training. And then I'm getting all these notifications on my phone. Like, the NBA was canceled. The season's canceled. Like all these major sports were being canceled. And I'm just like...
So you were like you were ready for your career. Like like this is it. Like this, I'm going into one series. This is my chance.
Yeah, dude, I was all in, you know, and I kind of always was like, that was my path. Like I since 16, before I even started training, for some reason I was just like, all right, this is what I'm doing, you know, and that was the goal. Yeah, that my path. What I had for my vision was to win that contract in the Warrior Series, go to one championship, take out whoever, and then make a career there.
Yeah, and then now, can you say that you're fighting for them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I am. Yeah.
There's so much,
dude. Yeah. There's hey, I'll say this. There's a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, I recently signed a 6-fight deal with them on the main roster. So yeah, I'm in that thing now.
That's fucking so badass. Like, I remember talking to you. It was like I feel like this is your run. Like, I feel like this is your run. I was telling you.
I feel it, dude.
And then you just needed an opportunity, and now you got a 6-fight contract. This is it. Like, the next fights, I feel like, are gonna show you contending.
Yes.
Does that make sense? Because that's the goal, right? 6 fights. It's like, okay, that means I'm gonna fight for one for a while.
Yeah.
That's at least a year and a half of fights.
I plan on. Yeah. I'm planning on making this my home. You know. And I do want the title, and I'm actually really familiar with all the guys in the strawweight division. Like, it's not the deepest division, but everybody in there, like,
who's their champion?
They're solid.
Right
the champion of the strawweight division currently is Joshua Paschal, and he's from the Philippines. Team Lakai. He's teammates with Adi Wong, who I fought in the past. Yeah. So I've been watching them for a while, you know, like I study all these guys. Pretty familiar with them. Yep, that's him right there.
Is it Pacquiao or Paschal?
Pacquiao. What's up, Pacquiao? No, it's like...
Man, it's one championship, so it's all Asian guys.
And I'm familiar with all these guys, dude.
Yeah.
Like...
Yoshida, Taka, dude, I can't even say their names.
Naito. Bro, when I was watching these guys... Like, okay, who's on this? So, number 1, Saruta. He's the former champion. Naito's former champion. Number 3, he's actually from Africa. He's really fun to watch. Number 4, I think he was the Shuto champion. I actually met him in...
Hirobo Minawa?
Minawa. You know Minawa? Yeah. That sound familiar? Yeah. Minawa? You know the Japanese dude with the red shorts and pride and stuff?
Yeah. Is he related?
Dude, I don't know, but like that'd be cool to have that name like on your record, you know? Yeah. Like I always think about that, like the OGs. And
I'm trying to see if they only had the first 5.
Yeah,
rankings.
they just they show the top 5.
Okay.
And then Silva, he's a former champion as well.
All 5 of them are former champions?
I'd say it's like 4 out of 5.
Let's see if it's still recording. Okay. Little Rock. Like would you say you're smaller for a strawweight?
I don't know. I've been around these guys. I've been around all these guys actually. This guy fought the last time I was out there. Yeah, he actually fought that dude Minowa. So I was around kind of all of them. I got to kind of feel their vibe, their energy, size, and everything like that. And no, I wouldn't. I mean, they're a little thicker, I'd say. But I mean, some guys thinner. Like I don't really see like a drastic change in like size. Have you seen them in like? Are they thinking about putting you against like somebody like the top 5 guys? Or I'm sure, dude.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
If they sign you for six fights, they're gonna throw you in there, right?
Oh, I'm in there already, bro. I'm in there.
Yeah,
dude, go back to that list. Go back to that top 5. So that number 1 dude. Yeah. Last time I fought in Japan, I fought for Pancrase. I fought Rio Hata. I went, and I remember going backstage, and this dude comes up to me, saying some stuff, and I realize now, I think he was trying to say like, you know, oh, you and me next or whatever. Yeah. And I thought he was like giving me props or whatever. Yeah. And then I was like, yeah, whatever. Like I just won, bro. I don't care about I don't care about what nobody's saying. You know, you say whatever you want. I just won, bro. I'm like on this high. So Yeah, he came up to me backstage after I won, and he was like saying some stuff, and I was just like, whatever, you know. And then freaking like 2 weeks later, he signs the one, right? And he's supposed to fight on this card. I think the main event was Pasha, the current champion.
Yeah.
And he's gonna defend it against somebody. Anyways, that guy gets hurt, so they just like I think Ceruto won one, and then he just bumped up, and he stepped in like late notice to fight for the title. And then he ends up winning the title, so he becomes like the one championship strawweight champion.
Yeah.
And they rematched eventually, and then Joshua got it back. But I mean, like I'm very familiar with these guys.
But how's it feel, dude? Like to know that you're like this is the big show. Like I was thinking about it when you first told me that you signed for six fights.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is the big show. Like this is world.
Yeah.
Like you're fighting regional for a while. You went on that skid. You went on that losing skid.
Yeah.
Like I know the goal is not to just get to one championship and then okay, I made it to one.
Yeah.
I know the goal is the ultimate prize, right?
Yes, sir.
But dude, San Jose, like high school, like you had some I don't want to say like you weren't a bad kid, but you were just like lost, right?
Yeah, I was
and
like,
you step into AKA, and it's just amazing to see, dude. Like you're the first person from my childhood that like made it to the big show. Like, and it's funny because talking to you, like I don't even realize it. Like you'll come train at Strike in the morning sometimes, and like you're there and like, hey, what's up, Anthony? And like, and then you leave. I'm like, dude, that guy's in the show.
Yeah.
Like, and I grew up with that guy. It's just so crazy. Like you made it, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in there. Like, but see, it doesn't hit me like that. Like, well, sometimes it does. Like it comes and goes. Like sometimes I'll just be sitting at home and I'm like, oh fuck. I'm ready to go train or some shit. You know what I mean? Because this is the run. You know. But also it's something like I always anticipated too. Yeah. You know, even like from the beginning, like. Losing, just all the ups and downs that happens in life. Like I never like, for some reason, I was always like stupid, positive and set on this like happening. Like it's happening no matter what. Like I freaking lost 3 fights in a row, dude. Some people they just retire after that, you know, and they're like, "Fuck, this ain't for me," you know?
Yeah.
Because like you look at a lot of guys in here, they don't really have records like that, like or where they lose 3 and then come back and make it. You know what I mean?
Especially in the beginning. Most of those guys are like, all right, won 5 in a row, won 6 in a row.
Yeah. Like I won 4 pro fights and then I went on that 3-fight skid, you know, but I had a lot of personal stuff going on that I just didn't like balance right, you know? And like it was really hard at first, you know, but I couldn't be like deterred from it, you know what I mean? I was just like, this is happening no matter what. Like no matter how bad it got, like I still physically just get up and just go, like just show up every day. And
do you have like a specific like program your way of thinking, like, or do you just wake up and like, all right, I gotta go to work, I gotta train, like do you do stuff to help that out, like throughout that whole entire skid? Is there something that helped you out throughout the whole entire skid?
You know what, I did like a lot of just meditating on it and like stepping back from it, you know, like the fighter in me, the worker in me, I'm just like, okay, I just got to show up and keep going no matter what. But you can't just keep showing up with the same mindset and expecting different results. Yeah. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I had to kind of force myself to step out of it. And I would still show up to the gym, but I had to stop taking every fight put in front of me. You know, I said, let me work on myself a little bit more. Yeah. Like the physical part, like there's that balance, right? And I think at first, when you first start training, it's very important to have that physical dedication. Like you got to get your body to a certain point to where you, and that includes the technical side as well. Yeah. You know, but there's also like the spiritual and mental side that you have to balance.
You have to first learn how to actually fight.
Yes, that's mandatory first, right? Yeah. Okay, yeah. Boom. But then once you like you put in a certain amount of years of training, and it never stops. You always have to stay on it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't want to get that twisted. You have to stay on that path of physically showing up and sharpening your skills, learning new things, putting yourself in uncomfortable situations. But after a while, you're used to that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now it's about timing and getting the body peaked at the certain time. But the higher you get into the professional ranks, I think it's even more important, and you hear it all the time, about the mental, how you step into these fights, and during that 3-fight skid, I didn't step back and process what was going wrong. I was just like, fuck, I lost. Okay. And I just looked at it physically, like what happened in the fight. I made this mistake here. Yeah. But I didn't like really process everything happening around me, like what caused me to not be in the right state of mind to capitalize on those certain movements or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Right. So I was just thinking about it in a practical, technical sense. I'm just like, okay, I made this wrong move here. In that situation, I know not to do that again. But also, you have to be in the right state of mind when you step into these fights, especially the higher you get. Because guess what? Everybody's good now. Everybody's sharp.
Everybody
everywhere.
trains like an animal.
Everybody trains like an animal. That's literally a requirement now. If you don't train like a freaking madman, you're not even gonna be here. So like, I had to that's just waking up and doing it now. It's not that no more. I gotta stay on that, But I feel like that's where I started to I had to take care of things outside, make those moves outside of the fighting in my actual human being life, because it is a balance.
Yeah.
You gotta balance both out. And I feel like that's where I learned. I took a step back and I started to make those changes in my life that I needed to.
Teach you that, or you just did it yourself?
Well, no, it's like, dude,
the way you're talking, and then knowing you, I feel like you did it. I know there's mentors in your life,
yes.
but I feel like you made a lot of those decisions yourself.
I did, but I also I have to give credit where credit's due. Like I have certain mentors and coaches in my life that would help me through this, but it's just like anything else. You can see it from the outside, and I can give the advice, but it's up to that person to take that advice and do something with it. So I was being told everything I should be doing, in my personal life and stuff like that. But it's like I had to make that choice to actually physically do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it took a while. I was just almost I didn't accept it or whatever it was. Oh no, I'm good. It was just a mistake in the fight. See, that's what I chalked it up as. I just technically did this wrong. You know what I mean? But it's you got to be in the right mental space to make sure that you don't make those technical errors.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
a little bit of ego.
A little bit, yeah, I'd say. But, it's subconsciously, to me, I'm no, I'm not. I'm just I chalked up as I made a mistake in the fight. Yeah, I did. But why did I make the mistake?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And after, dude, these lessons in life are going to come at you, and it's up to you. Do you want to keep repeating these lessons and learning them over, or not learning them, but dealing with them, getting past it? And then when you get tested again, are you going to pass it this time, or are you going to fail and then stay where you are, And after those 3 losses and other things that happen in life, I got to die, dude. I got to get my shit together,
Yeah.
I'm so I was dude, I got to take accountability, and I got to do the things I need to do. And after accepting that, I was able to kind of move forward. I didn't stay in the same place anymore. I think that was the big thing, taking accountability. I'm in this position because I put myself here. Nobody did that to me. And
So,
when I'm talking about this, I'm talking about things in my personal life. I was married in the past, going through that whole divorce and things like that.
Yeah.
So that was a big thing, getting past making those maybe not the wisest decisions in my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And taking accountability, being responsible for it. And once I did that, I stepped into training with a clear mind. It was just muscle memory to show up at the gym. It's easy to just and I don't want to demean that, make that sound demeaning to anybody who's really trying their hardest. But there's a big difference, and I'm sure you can see it in the training room as well, with guys that just show up to the gym and the guys who show up at the gym and they really leave it all out on the mat, and they're like thinking about, they come with a purpose, things to improve on.
Yeah.
You know, they leave with, okay, I need to do this, this, and this. I would just show up and I'm like, I was here from this hour to this hour. Like, don't tell me I'm not working hard. You know what I mean? But you got to be like on the mat, really with a purpose.
Yeah.
You know,
It's the same exact thing. I was talking to the boxer Andy,
yes,
and I was we were drilling. He was showing me a little bit of drills, and he's all, don't half-ass it. Like,
yes,
do it. Like, he's all, stop thinking about it, just go. Like, you gotta, don't waste it.
Yes.
It could be 30 minutes. It could be 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't waste the time that you're
Yes,
doing
dude.
the drill. Like, and they say the same exact thing. Like, it's funny because I'm realizing, like, man, because I'm at a point where, like, I guess I'll say it. I'm at a point where, like, I got the whole podcast thing going, and I got the, like, other stuff other than fighting. Like, I'm an amateur fighter, and the whole goal was to get pro. And then I started, like, really looking at it, and the podcast thing started taking off.
yes,
And I know the whole goal, like the podcast, the beginning of the intro is like, oh, I want to be a pro fighter and all that stuff.
yes,
But my dream changed, you know?
Yes.
Like the dream, I didn't realize I wanted to be I wanted to do this. This is fun, dude. Like, and then I'm actually getting paid for it. Like, it's a cool thing. And I started meeting other pro fighters, and I started looking at my mindset. I was like, oh, I don't have that mindset. Like, I can't, it's not like I'm scared or I'm weak or like, not like that, nothing like that. But your mindset is like, it's different. It's a champion mindset. Like meeting Andy, meeting you, who future champion, I think, my opinion. And then Andy's, like, you guys are full go. Like, you guys are going to be champions, and he was already a champion. And there's people that go into fighting and are not, they tell themselves, oh, I want to fight, but they don't want to be a champion. Does that make sense? The
Yes.
mindset of like, I don't want to, like, I'm just fighting to get paid.
yes. That's so huge. I'm so happy you brought that up, because you know what? Like, another thing, like, when you asked me, like, my mindset going through that thing in the past and, like, how did I progress from that? Another thing was, like, what I meditated on was when you go through that, you know, those questions come up, maybe even, like, subconsciously, like, do I want to do this? Like, you take 3 L's in a row, dude, that shit sucks. That's depressing, bro.
Yeah.
It's depressing. Like, you're like, dude, am I like, you know how people are when they see, you can go on any fighter's Instagram and like click something and you see just people just writing the nastiest shit, just negative, like,
Yeah.
and who knows what these people have done with their lives, you know what I mean? They just want to just hate or whatever. You take an L, that's what people remember you for. You know, they always say, you're only as good as your last performance or whatever, because that's what people get judged on, especially in fighting, because it's like, you know, like in basketball or football, like, you lose a game, you're gonna play next week, bro.
Dude, Khabib said it. Khabib was all, you could be 25-0, 30-0.
Yes.
But they're still like, oh, you don't want to fight that
Bro,
dude.
they're still hating on him. Like, bro, are you serious?
Like, he's the greatest of all
Dude,
time.
I know. That's what I'm saying. And it's like, it's really frustrating. So I think that's so important. You have to be honest with yourself. And people will say they want to be champions, they want to do this. But man, it's such a long time. And what I realized is during that time, I was like, man, do I want to do this? And I was just thinking about life, and I was like, what else would I rather do? Like, this is what I love to do.
Yeah.
Like, even if I didn't fight competitively, like, I would still, it's a lifestyle for me. This is what I love to do. Like, I'm not good when I don't train. Bro, I had some situation and I couldn't make it to training on Wednesday. Bro, my girl, she's like, are you okay? What's going on? I was just like, I don't know. She's like, she even hit, she was like, why don't you just go to Jesse's gym and go hit the bag or something? I was just like, she knew what's up. Like, she knows me so well, you know?
Yeah.
And like, I just can't function. Like, I'm not me. I'm not the best me. Like, I gotta go freaking run 3 miles, or like, I gotta go hit the bag. I gotta go roll, you know? Like, that's just like what I love to do. That's what makes me me. And I think that's why probably none of this has hit me, because it's like, if I didn't get signed, if I didn't get this matchup, I didn't get that belt, this belt, I'll still be doing the same thing, because this is what I love to do. You know, like you said with the podcasting, like this is fun to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where people, or maybe other fighters or aspiring fighters get it twisted. You know, they expect like this big thing to come, and you're gonna be making all this money, and it really, you have to like be happy, like doing what you do. Like I love this shit. Like just training and like even the fucking sucky days. You know, they get me hyped for the next day. Like it's like a way of like self-improvement for me. It's just like, this is what I do, you know? And no fight, no promotion, like no big contracts or whatever. Like this is what I love to do. And I think that's where they get it twisted. Like they expect this big money to come, you know? And it's like, you just have to enjoy every day. Like do what makes you happy.
Like they expect an outcome.
Yeah.
They expect the outcome.
That's huge, dude. I struggled with that like a lot, like in my career. Like, even in the past, like getting these amateur belts or like winning my first and second professional title, I was expecting this like this great like
things to change.
Something things to change, bro. I got the belt. They put the belt on me. I was just like, this is cool, you know? Everybody's calling me champ. Like, I was like, this is dope, you know? Yeah. But like, I was the same, you know? And I was just like expecting the next day to be different. And it wasn't. And then that got me kind of like depressed again for a little bit. And I was like, what's wrong? Like, I was supposed to, you know? Yeah. And I realized like, there's nothing like, that was a big thing I discovered as well. Like, there's nothing like outside that's going to like,
that like people congratulate
physical, like, you know what I mean, that you're gonna get that's gonna make you change your life or like make you happy. You know what I mean? Like you just gotta like really enjoy the day, like everything. Like I just see life different, you know? Like I just love to do this, you know?
Yeah. Cause it does get like without wanting it to and saying like I'm not gonna let other people's like what they say and how they feel about me like affect me. Yeah. Like everybody tells themselves that, but there's those moments you're like, what if they don't think I'm good enough or do you see what I'm saying? Like like oh they
like
think
the outside perception of you, right? Yeah.
You fight with it. I fight with it, even though like, cause I had to fight with it. Basically, I'm saying like, okay, I'm gonna fight one more time and then see where it goes. Right? I'm not thinking like I gotta be a pro fighter. Yeah. Because I was fighting that so long. Like I gotta be a pro fighter. I gotta be a pro fighter. Like, why the fuck do you need to be a pro fighter? Is it because you want to, or is it because
you want people to view you as that, right? Yeah. And plus, dude, when you do become a pro fighter, like I want you to think about this again. You know, like how do you feel? Yeah. Do you feel any differently or anything like that? Yeah. You know, meditate on that. See where that takes you.
And then I think meeting you and meeting like other professional fighters, I realized I was like, oh, they're just people.
Yeah. We're like no different, dude. Like I'm like a normal ass dude.
Yeah. Like
still it's just fucking up a lot. Like it's normal.
Yeah. It's because I was always on the outside. When I first started the podcast, I was like, oh, it's Anthony Doe. Like he's a pro fighter.
That's hella funny, dude. That's hella funny that you would say that.
And then like we're just all like, and then talking to other people, it's like, oh, we're just all trying to get through this thing, like this life, you know? Yeah. Like it's so crazy. Like, yeah, you got different experiences and different opportunities. You went to fucking Singapore, like you going all over the world, like, but at the same time, you still come home, lay in your bed, and like, all right, what am I gonna do tomorrow?
Right back to the same city as you, dude. Yeah. Like, it's no different, dude.
Yeah,
for real.
Yeah, it's crazy. But you have a story going. Can you talk about when you try to get into somewhere? Can you talk about that or no?
Oh. Go ahead, touch on it, because I don't really know which one we're talking about.
When you tried to get into another place and they didn't let you in?
Oh, that was, okay. Yeah, we could talk about that. Yeah, okay. I mean, shoot, we'll see what happens. No. Yeah, so I was supposed to fight again for one championship, and I had a fight in April. Actually, dude, I was so hype about this, bro, because it was on the, Mighty Mouse, and he fought Marias. It was the big TNT card. Yeah. So I was supposed to be fighting then, and I was like, dude, and Mighty Mouse is Demetrius Johnson is one of my I I really admire like his technique and
he's
his
the
work
GOAT.
ethic. Yeah, and also touching on that, like he's a normalized dude. You know what I mean? He's just be playing video games online with people, like, you know. But I really like his technique. So I studied him a lot, like his footwork, distance, like his pressure and stuff like that. So I was a big fan of him, and still am. So I was excited to like be on a card with him, you know, because I'm like, dude, I was watching this guy before, like I really got into it, and like, I could find the same card as him, dope. So I signed this fight, whatever. We go fly out to Singapore, and so we get to Singapore. We get out, and we're going through like customs or whatever. This dude comes up to me, and he's like, "Do you smoke?" And I was like, "What?" my dumbass face, "What?" No, you know.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, and by the way, like, obviously, weed, marijuana, all those products are legal as fuck out here. Like, it's very normal, you know. But in Singapore, it's like, it's a no, dude. Like, you get locked up like two years. Like,
Jesus.
it's a serious problem.
Yeah.
And like, they take it really seriously. It was crazy. So, and it was weird. The drug test they did was like, I didn't even know they were drug testing me. I'm still assuming this is a drug test. They came up to me like this little like roller for your hands.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, "Let me see your hands." I was like, "All right," you know, and they start rolling this thing on my hand. They go to a computer, come back, do it again, like super hard, and then they come back and they're like, "All right, hey, step out, bring your bags, come over here." And I was like, "Oh shit, what's happening right now?" You know, and this is I really was unaware of everything going on because the people at the airport, they were like fans of the promotion and One Championship, and they're like, "Yo, when's your fight?" Like asking me all these questions. They're like asking me like,
I'm fighting right now.
"Square up." No, they were hyped, dude. They're like, "Dude, oh, how's it feel to like fight?" Like they just asking me all these cool, like, you know, we're just chopping it up, and it was all good. And they're like, "All right, you're gonna have to open your bags," and like they check everything, and they're like, "Are you carrying any illegal substances on you?" I'm like, "No, dude, what?" And this whole process took a long time. Like, it was like the whole thing was a couple hours. You know, they let my cornerman right through, so he actually made it into the country.
Yeah.
So they detained me.
So you're there in Singapore.
Bro, I'm in there, but once you pass, like you get outside the airport, now you're in Singapore. Still, I was technically not in the country of Singapore. So, and it's just,
crazy,
dude, you know what's crazier? What's crazier is this. There's this other dude behind me, and then they do the same thing to him, and they're like, "Here, go stand next to him." So they start checking his bags. This guy's pulling out all these, like, there's a little chart like behind me.
Yeah.
Can't bring this, X, no. And this dude, they pulled out a tray. Dude probably had 10 to 15 items of all these things that you cannot bring. Okay? And then I was like, damn.
He's fucked.
You're
all like
fucked.
standing there
And
like,
then-
I'm about to go in.
Oh, this is funny. And then my coach, Rick, he gave me these, like, these little sleep pills called Calms. You know what they are? Like, they're like little, for anxiety, like non-habit forming, like no illegal substances. They pulled that out of my bag and they're like, "What's this?" Like, "What is this?" I'm like, "It's for anxiety, sleeping, you know. It's a long flight." I was just gonna, you know, I took someone on the plane, like, whatever. And they're like, "Okay." And they put it in that thing next to all of his illegal fucking shit. And I was like, "Really?" Like, this, like, okay. And yeah, so they go through all his bags and everything, which took so long because this dude was holding hella shit. Then they,
At that time, were you thinking like, okay, you're like, okay, I'm still going over. Like,
dude, my driver was outside with my cornerman.
Yeah.
And they're just like, "What's taking so long?" Promotion's hitting me up. I was like, "Oh, hold on." They're just checking my bags for some stuff. And this turned to like 15 minutes to like 3-4 hours later.
When did it hit you that you were like, okay, something's up?
Probably in between those 3 or 4 hours. I was sitting there like, "Yo, what's this going on?" I was like texting my girl, Tanandi, and I was like, "Yo, babe, I don't know what's going on. Like I might be detained. I don't know if I'm coming home or whatever." She was all freaking out. I was just keeping her informed, and we're sitting there. They take us to this office, and I meet with shoot, I don't know like what their job title is, but anyway, they work for the Singapore government. They come in, and they start checking all this dude's shit in the that cart of like his 10 to 15 things, whatever. They're writing them off, boom, boom, boom. And then he's funny. He's sitting right next to me. And then he's like, "Man, what'd they get you for?" I'm like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Get me?" I was like, dude, bro, I got some calms, anxiety pills, bro. Look at you. I was like, this will go to jail, dog. I was like, oh. And and then he's like, he's funny too, because he's a fan of one championship too.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you fight one? You know who Angela Lee is? I was just like, bro, like, I don't know her personally, but you know, yeah, whatever. And then he's like, yeah. He's just talking to me about fighting. And then they bring him in there. He signs a thing. They keep all his stuff. And then he's like, all right, I'll see you.
He gets in?
He gets out, dude. He just walks off. I was like, cool. I'm good. I'm fighting, bro. And then these two people come in. Two separate people come in. And they're like, we got to ask you some questions and all this stuff. And they start asking me about, like, you know, marijuana. They're like, all right. When's the last time you smoked? All this stuff. And I'm like, dude. And honestly, I cut, like, I do this before my fights. Like, I'll cut the weed out, like, a good amount of time before, you know, just in case. So I don't know what they were tripping about. They tell me, like, oh, amounts of illegal narcotics came up in your system. And I was like, are you talking about marijuana? Are you talking about THC? And they're like, yes. They're like, we need to know your smoking history, what you do it for, and all this stuff. I was just like, bro, like, they're like, how do you obtain marijuana or where you come from? I was like, shoot, yeah, sometimes I go to the store, I buy it. Yeah. Sometimes I use Ease and they'll drop it off in my house. And they're like, no way. They just...
Oh, they couldn't, they're like, it's legal?
Yeah, they're like, it's 100% legal there. I'm like, yes, dude. I'm telling you, I go to the store. And CBD products are illegal. They're like, do you take CBD? I was like, yeah. They're like, where do you go? Like, I was like, my freaking grocery store across the street. Bro, you know, they were tripping. They were like, no way. And these guys are fans too. Yeah. They're asking me all about, like, oh, how much weight do you cut? Like, what do you train in the most? Like, they're asking me opinions about, like, are you scared to fight? I'm like, dude, we're having a really honest, like, dope conversation. Yeah. You know?
And this is what, an hour in?
It could be 3-4 hours. I don't know, bro. Jesus. Yeah, the promotion, the driver's still outside. Promotion's like, dude, what is going on? Are you okay? I'm like, you know what? Honestly, I think something's happening. And they're like, oh, like, what happened? Like, you know, and it was a funny situation. Not at the time. I was like, dude, I was like really getting irritated because I was like, bro, this guy just walked off and you compensated like hella shit from him. Yeah. You know, the whole time this was going on, I thought this was about the fucking anxiety pills, bro.
Holy shit.
And then they're like, no, they're the traces or whatever, you know. And I was like, dude, like, yeah, I smoke. Like, it's normal. But I didn't come to the airport high. I didn't enter Singapore, like, dude, I stopped smoking, like...
You said, like, a month, right?
Yeah, about a month out, dude. And I was like... They're like, asking me about my smoking history. And I was like, dude, I live in California. You know? Like, yeah, smoking is pretty freaking normal there, you know?
Do promoters tell you, like, hey...
Yeah, they actually sent me an email. Said, don't take any substances because they test at the airport. I was like, cool.
But you didn't think they were going to do like a rolly thing, whatever that was on your hand? What was it on your hand?
No, it was like, some type of drug test, bro. First time on that happened, you know?
That must be like, that's like a year's out. Or like, that must be like, they're able to...
It must be some like, they must be able to freaking like really get in there. Yeah. You know what I mean? I was like, pretty surprising.
I've heard of the hair follicles that like pull hairs or just the piss test, but I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was, it was pretty funny because after like later on this whole thing happened, I'm talking to my corner and he's like, or maybe when we get back into the country at some point, and he's like, dude, I was scared because they tested him too, but he went through. He's like, dude, I smoked last weekend. And I was like, what? I was like, then how the fuck did you get into the? It didn't make no sense to me. You know, it's kind of sketch. I was like, all right, but anyways.
You think it's because you said you smoked?
Maybe I should have just fucking lied.
Yeah.
But I mean, I did at first, right? I was like, I don't smoke.
Yeah.
But you know what? He asked me if I smoked. When he came up to me, he's like, do you smoke cigarettes or anything? I was like, no, I don't smoke cigarettes. Yeah. You know? And then he tested me with that thing. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Should I just lie? I don't know. I was kind of, shit. That's kind of awkward. But yeah, a couple hours later, they're going through this thing. And then the dude comes out. He's like, yo, I want you to know this is not my choice. It's through the Singapore government. Yeah. This is out of my control.
After being buds with
after being buddies with me, dude. He was like, yeah, we're you're not going to be able to fight. I was like, what?
Oh,
I was like, what do you mean, dude? You just asked me about like all this fighting stuff. Like, and then he's like, yeah, you're not going to be able to fight. I'm sorry. It's out of my control. The government had decided this. Like, they're not going to let you into the country. They're going to send you back to where you came from. And I was like, okay, well, that like raised the flag because I spent like 2 days on the plane. I went to, started from SFO. Then I went to Qatar, which is out in like, you know, it's next to Abu Dhabi.
yeah.
And then I went from Qatar to Singapore. So I was like, where I came from, like, are you guys covering this? You know what I mean? Like, am I going to be able to get back from Qatar to like the United States? Like, you know? And then I was like, what about my cornerman? Because he got into the country, bro. And then I was like, I'm like, hey, dude. Yeah. And they're just like, we can't help your cornerman. I was like, dude, our flight is booked for a week. You were telling me this dude's got to stay in like Singapore for a week and no fight? Like, he's just going to stay there? I was like, eh. I felt really bad because, you know, we all got family. Like, we had to take time off for it.
And then, like cornermen, they're doing it as like the love for you, the love for the fighter.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, they don't get paid that much.
Yeah,
They don't like the trip. I'm saying, like they don't get paid for the trip, do they? I'm not saying
the trip. No, I mean they like usually how it might work is like you pay them like your 10% of your check. You get from the fight.
You fighting is dependent on them getting paid too. But
yeah,
the cornerman not doing it for.
No, that sucks. Yeah, so like nobody got paid, dude. Yeah. We spent 4 days on a plane. Okay, I actually lost money, dude. I lost money because it sucked. They took my passport.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't leave into the country. Right. I had a hotel booked. They're like, okay, we're gonna change your flight to tonight back to Qatar. I was like, what am I supposed to do? They're like, you have to go to a hotel. I was like, oh, perfect. One championship has a hotel. My corner's at. He's like, we can't let you out of the airport because then that would be letting you into the country. I'm like, dude, where am I supposed to go? So they freaking have like this police escort for me, dude.
So
the whole
like
time.
This criminal.
Bro.
Like straight criminal.
I felt I felt dirty. I felt dirty. Yeah. I was like, bro. I was walking around the airport like freaking El Chapo, dude. They were like, they freaking walked me down to this. They had they had a hotel inside the airport. So they made me stay there. One championship was cool. I was like, I paid it out of pocket. And they're like, what? They heard about the whole situation. They're like, dude, we're so sorry. Like, they covered the hotel or they reimbursed me for it. So that was cool. And they're just like, dude, sorry. Like, it's in the government's hands. Like, we try to, like, you know, they can't do anything about it. So it was out of their hands. But so I ended up, but what's cool is they helped my cornerman get back on the same flight with me.
Okay.
So I was like, dude, thank God. Because I was like feeling really bad.
Yourself, yeah.
Like, he was scared. No, I'm cool. I mean, like, I'll make it fine. But like, I'm like, dude, this guy, he did nothing wrong, you know? He just came out to support me, you know, like be in my corner. And then I was like, shit. So, yeah. Even like back to Qatar, they still had I didn't get my passport until I landed back in the United States. I just had an escort on me the whole time. Like, before we get board on the plane, like, that police escort would bring me to the front. Everybody's like, what's going on? Like I got, like, a free pass. And I'm like, dude, I don't want this.
You should have just put your hands behind your back.
Like, dude.
Just, like, act like you're, like, a crazy criminal.
It was awkward, bro. People were looking at me like, oh, what's going on with this guy? I don't know. But
what were you in for?
Yeah.
I had weed on my hand.
Dirty. But yeah, I'm going to come to the airport next time with, like, a turtleneck.
So can you...
some glasses or some shit. I don't know.
Can you get, like, did Singapore, like, suspend you from going to over there? Or
I'm not... Okay, so that's... I know I have to get some type of extra clearance to get back into the country now, but I think one championship's going to handle that situation. Yeah. Okay. Sure, they better. I'm trying to fight, dude. What do you want me to do? Yeah. You know? I'm sure they handle it.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, that's dude. So, crazy. So I didn't get to fight.
Yeah. And then you hit me up the day that you get into town. You're like, hey, dude, can I go hit the bag?
Yeah, see? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I felt so... Like, that was the day. By the time I got back, did they fight that day? Or I don't remember. The next day they fought. Yeah. I hit you up, dude. It was like hella late. I'm like, I was like, bro, I just got back. Oh, I need to go. Like, can I come through to the gym? Can I come through to strike? Go hit the bag or something? So yeah, I just had to get it out a little bit, you know.
But it was funny because you showed up like, oh yeah, I got kicked out of Singapore. We're just laughing about it. You know
Dude,
what I mean?
it's funny looking back.
Like
but
we weren't even like. I knew you were probably stressed out about it.
I was stressed, dude. I was like heartbroken, like depressed. And you put in this work, you know. It's a huge opportunity. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like shit. Happened.
Did they
Move forward.
rebook it?
Not yet. I think we gotta wait till this other fight is displayed, televised.
Yeah.
You know, and then I'm sure I'll get a call after, and then we'll move on from there. But it is what it is, bro. You know, I just like stay in the gym, keep improving, do what I can control. You know what I mean? So.
And you were working a little bit. Like you had a job for a while. During
Yeah, I was
pandemic,
working because I was still back and forth from San Jose. I used to work at this Amazon warehouse like in Milpitas, just like these weird hours, you know, so it doesn't mess with my training and my family time.
Yeah.
So just any free time I had, I would go work at this Amazon warehouse. But then I moved over to this different warehouse in Santa Clara. But shoot, as soon as I got that one championship call, I was just like, I'm out. I remember telling you that. You're like, oh, you got work? I was like, nah, dude, I did. Dude, I'm all in, man, you know?
But Anthony does have a brother, Chris.
Yep, Christo.
He's been posting videos, dude. Your brother looks thick right now. The dude's huge.
He's getting big, bro.
Not in a bad way. Like he looks like he's shredded right now.
Yeah, not fat.
Yeah. And he's just different. He's just built different from you. Like
yeah, he's a little thicker. Like I'd say he fights like okay. So I fight naturally. Okay, we both fight at 125.
Yeah. He's closer to 135.
He's closer. I'd say he's more towards a real flyweight, right? Because I fight 125 hydrated. So at one championship, they do hydration tests. Every weight class is bumped up a little bit. So, for example, before I fought at one championship, I would fight like maybe when I fought in Japan, I would fight at 115 pounds. So I would cut all the way to 115. That's straw weight. Okay, but when in one championship, they run these hydration tests. So every weight class is bumped up about 10 pounds. So the straw weight division at one championship, you have to weigh in at 125 pounds and pass the hydration test. So it's no longer 115 pounds, right? But for example, in the UFC, 125 pounds is flyweight. Flyweight in one championship, because it's hydrated, is actually 135 pounds. Yeah. And that's how it works. So I'd say he's more of a real or not like a hydrated, right? So hydrated, I would fight 115, right? Before the hydration test. So now we both fight at 125, but he's cutting all that weight to make it down to 25.
So is he going to be at 135?
No. I mean, out here, they don't do those hydration tests, right? So he's going to be cutting all the weight, which is like, you know, there's positives and negatives. I don't really like it, but if everybody's doing it, you kind of got to.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited to see him fight.
Yeah, me too, dude. He's been working hard.
Yeah, he's going to be a monster.
And he's fighting at West Coast Elite.
Did he go to did he take photos today?
No, I think we were talking about it yesterday. I think he has work or something, so he's just going to figure it out. I don't know. But yeah, I'm excited for his fight. He's been training, dude, through this whole pandemic, like staying on the path. You know, it's really hard when these gyms are shutting down and
he didn't know what to do.
Yeah, especially as an amateur, it's really weird because it's like pro fights are still happening like in certain places, right?
During the pandemic, it was like you had to be like UFC or it was just UFC.
It was like
UFC or nothing.
Yeah, so it's like amateurs are all like, oh shit, like what are we gonna fight, you know? But now things are starting to open up again, and there's some amateur shows that have been booked, and also like other states have kind of already moved in to amateur shows, like, you know, Florida, Texas,
all the
stuff like that.
Most of all the East Coast, Texas, and then Nevada's starting to open up.
Nevada, but luckily we got something here. He was actually supposed to fight once or twice, and I think we were gonna go to Wyoming or some random ass place. Yeah. For an amateur show, they were gonna fly him out, but it didn't happen. I think opponents didn't come together or whatever it was. But we have an opportunity for this upcoming card in Milpitas. So
are you gonna corner him? Do you think you're gonna corner him through his career, or do you think Is it hard for you to do that?
It's not. No, I mean it's not hard, but I wouldn't say it's not easy.
Yeah.
You know, like it's your brother. You wanna. You're like, you know, you're not in there. It's out of control. You know, out of your control.
Yeah.
So, but I enjoy it. Like it definitely brings me nerves and stuff like that, but like it brings me a lot of joy to see him like grow. You know what I mean? Like to be on that path with him, like I love it. You know, like that's my brother.
That's dope.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick. He's training with us at AKA. He's an amateur, but he trains with the pros. You know.
Because of the pandemic, did he get that opportunity? You know how you said you went from amateur to the pro team?
Yes.
Did he get the opportunity to already like just train with the pros?
Yeah, he was kind of already coming in. I would bring him in maybe on the Tuesdays and Thursdays, the grappling days, the wrestling, and because he's got pretty good wrestling, and the jiu-jitsu days. But since he went amateur and he's been fighting, he's been in there with us, like with the pro team as well. So he's in there getting cage rounds now. That's new to him. And at AKA, like when you go in the cage room, it's like a fight. Yeah. You know, we have like 2 main rooms we train in. Okay, so it's like the main room. Everybody still calls it the red room, even though it's all black mats now. It used to be all red mats, and it was a big space. So we would call it the red room. And in there, you're supposed to work on technique. You know, get good rounds and like not hurt each other. Okay, that's not. And the cage room is where it's like, you know, there's no music. You got your corner. We put somebody will go in there to simulate a referee. You hear the gate click, lock, everything. So it's like real time simulation of a fight. Obviously, you're gonna take care of your training partners. You know, like you don't want to hurt people, but it happens when you guys are going hard like that sometimes. So that brings a really good experience for the amateur fighter, right? It's almost like an amateur fight when you go in there and you're sparring like these guys that have been already established as pros. They might have had their amateur career already. They're in like Bellator now, whatever it is, you know, and you get to do these hard rounds with them. You get that. It's not just like sparring in the other room where you know like there's a whole bunch of people around you. It's like it's all eyes on you. You got your corner, and it's a really good experience. Like the more cage rounds you get, it's like a fight, dude. Yeah. Like you step in there with that experience.
Your brother's been doing that a while now, or
he's just since we had opened up the gym again, he's starting to do it. So he's been in there.
Dude, it's crazy because
4 times now, maybe
it's crazy
3 or 4
like,
times.
You guys, like being a fan, like I seen you from when I was when you first started amateur, and then seeing how far you come, and then seeing what your brother's doing, and then meeting your brother, and then like it's like I'm excited because like I talked to you guys in the beginning before, like I feel like it, and I like it's not like I have. You could see something, right? You guys are gonna like explode into these pro fighters that are just known, and it's cool to see you guys like in the beginning to get that interview with both of you guys, you know, like before even anything happened. Like I just see your brother like being really, really good. I haven't even trained, like I've sparred with him one time, but it's just knowing that your work ethic and then you being around your brother, like. And knowing like you could see the progress, like even on Instagram, like how hard he's working.
He's growing fast.
Yeah.
You know?
So seeing that and then like, just know it's exciting, dude. Like you guys are eventually gonna. I can't wait. Right? Like, it's cool. It's really cool to see like that dynamic of a brother going into like you didn't have a background in martial arts. You did it like later when you're 17, right?
Yes, I started training 16.
16, and then he followed you, and it's super, super cool to see what your brother's gonna do.
Yeah, dude, he's like 20, so it's like, bro, I didn't start training till like it's really dope to see because when I was 20, what was I doing? Like, I was still amateur, yes. I was probably similar to the same position as him, but you know what? At the beginning of my amateur career, the amateurs and pros did not train together. Like the amateurs would have to come in at night and like in a back room and just work, and they had none of the same coaches, like no cross training, anything like that.
Yeah.
But now they've kind of integrated the amateurs and pros together. So those guys are going to just improve like that much faster. They're going to learn that much quicker, you know? And that he's in there sparring. He gets to work with, obviously he gets to work with me. I'm his brother. And we're always going to be competitive, right? But like, you know what? You might not get the same nerves as working with your brother because, you know, that's your brother. He's not going to hurt you, you know? So, but you step in the cage ring with somebody else, there's your training partners. They're going to take care of you, but it's not your brother. They're going to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's getting that. Like he's working with some of the best. Like Nick Piccinini. He came from New York. He's like a really, really good wrestler. Like D1, like he's the shit.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna get any better wrestling than that at that weight class. And he's making his pro debut, I think, June or around then.
How you spell his last name?
Shoot, can you go to Instagram on here?
Yeah.
Just pull him up on there. He has his the card and everything on there, and he helped me a lot for my last fight, or my last fight.
Do you know his handle?
Try PICC.
With Nick?
Yeah, okay. Try that, or just go to my page and then you'll probably find him on there somewhere. Let's see. Yeah. Wow, Instagram looks so weird on freaking
on the computer.
Yeah,
dude, I do. Yeah, I do a lot of my Instagram on my actual laptop.
Huh. Yeah. Scroll down. Keep going. Oh, that's him right there to the third row to the right.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Right here?
Yeah. Click his page. Oh, right there. Nikki Pitch. Yep. That's him right
so
there.
So he making his pro debut?
Mm-hmm. Go back up. Let me see that. I want to butcher his stats. Like 3-time D1 All-American. 4-time Big 12 champion. Like he's legit. Really good wrestler. And click that first page. I think he linked, or that first pic, sorry.
This one?
Yep. I think he linked his fight on there. June 18th, yeah. XFN. So, yeah, I'm working with him. Chris gets to work with him. We're all we got a really sick squad of little guys, dude, coming up.
Where's this at?
I believe...
Oh, Crutchmer's fighting down there too?
Oklahoma.
Yeah. Crutchmer's part of the AK team too, right?
Yep. Yeah. I think he's got something coming up in Bellator too. Yeah,
Where did he wrestle at? Crutchmer.
Oklahoma, I believe. Or wait, did he go to?
Dude, you're just around D1 wrestlers, huh?
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. I don't even realize.
I think that's what blows my mind is that you guys are brothers. Like you guys are not D1 wrestlers. Like you guys are with these wrestlers. Like your story. Like your story is awesome because you didn't have this crazy background.
Yeah.
Like these guys are all D1 wrestlers.
A little different.
Yeah.
I got into it after some other things.
yeah. So, yeah, that's badass, man. Lenny, what was that? Holy shit!
What?
I don't know. That was scary.
You never heard that before? Explain this.
So our Alexa went off real quick. But yeah, man, that's dope. And your brother is just training with them, right?
Yeah, we're all training together. He's getting rounds in with him. So he's got his fight coming up. Another training partner of mine, Mark Climaco, he's got a fight coming up for LFA, I think next week. He's co-main event.
The older brother, right?
Younger. Sean is the older brother, yeah. And we all started at AK Sunnyvale, dude. Yeah. Like way back when. So.
And it's funny because like I haven't met them, but I know of them. I've seen the Climaco brothers fight.
Yeah, they're sick.
Yeah, and it's crazy because like you're seeing all these fight. Like when you're in the fight world, you get to know like the regional fighters, and like so if people don't know, it goes like you start an amateur and then you start fighting regional, right? What in the world is going on? I think her Alexa off.
Nice.
All right, but you sorry guys, that was our Alexa's going off like crazy. But you fight amateur and then you go into pro and it's regional, right? Unless you're some badass.
Yeah.
So regional meaning like you're gonna fight NorCal
Yeah. Like this is a like regional in Oklahoma,
Yeah.
right? But see, like Piccinini, he has no amateur fights, but he's such a freaking
Crazy
athlete,
yeah.
like good wrestler. Like he probably nobody would fight him at amateur, so he's kind of forced to go to pro
Yeah.
right away. You know,
Yeah.
so you got those situations.
And then you go regional. Then you get to the big names like one championship, UFC, Bellator. Like those are the big names,
Yeah.
right? Or even if you fight in Bellator, sometimes you fought in the what is it called, the after card?
The postlims, dude.
Yeah, the post limbs. That's like at 12 o'clock at
12
night.
o'clock, dude. So what that is, it was like Bellator will throw these cards. You know, they have their cards, but after the main event, there's still fights, and they have like maybe 6 to like 8, 10 fights sometimes after the main event, and these fights will go on to like 12. I remember one time I fought for Bellator. I think it was my third pro fight. I knocked the dude out in like a minute 30 or something.
So you waited all that time for a
bro,
minute.
yeah, I remember it was funny. I was the last fight of the night. Like literally the last fight. Like people were leaving, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I was at that. That was.
Were you there?
That was the Piccolo. Did Piccolo fight on that one?
Piccolotti?
Yeah. No. The wrestler, the guy that started at a young age, the phenom. Pico. There you go. Pico.
Yeah, Pico. Maybe.
Because I think I was on the floor for that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I
Sick.
think that was because I remember knowing that you were gonna fight on that card. I was like, hey, there's a guy from my high school gonna fight, and then I was like, okay, when's he fighting?
Yeah.
And then somebody's
I know, dude.
oh no, it's after. I was like, what?
What do you mean after? Yeah.
I was like, I was already drunk and everything. So I was like, I couldn't wait. But yeah, man, that sucks. Well, it doesn't suck, but that's like kind of like to bring you into the show. Right?
It was a cool experience, but yeah, fighting kind of like that delayed, and like everybody's kind of already like freaking OD'd on fights.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, I remember Josh Thompson was the main event for that fight. Like he won, and all those postlim fights happened, and then I was the last fight. And I remember walking out, seeing him do an interview, and he's like, "Good luck, bro." All right. And I was like, sick. And then I came back, and I was just training. I was training with him in the pro team and stuff, but I wasn't like super tight with him yet, you know?
Yeah.
So that was like really cool. It hyped me up. And then I came back. Like the fight was only like a minute something. I came back and he's like, "Did you fight yet?" I was like, "No, I already won." He's like, "What the fuck?" It was funny. He was like mid-interview still.
Yeah.
He was like, you know? I was like, that was done. But yeah. So that was a cool experience, just being under that stage. Like,
Yeah.
Super cool.
That's awesome, man. And before we end it, you're gonna be a dad.
I am. Yeah.
Have your second kid.
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome.
Me and my girl Tanadian, what are we? We're 14 weeks and 4 days, I think, today. So due date's going to be 11/11.
For real?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's going to be dope.
That's a good luck number.
Yeah. I don't know boy or girl yet, but we'll see.
Yeah.
You know?
So that's 2. You're in 1 championship. And you're going to make a run. So hopefully next time we interview you or I interview you, that you're like in it. Like
Yes.
contending. Right?
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah.
I'll make it happen for sure.
For sure. All right, guys. Where can people follow you?
Instagram's probably the best thing. I'm not really on anything else. I mean, I got Facebook, but I'm not really on there.
Yeah, no.
Hit me up on Instagram. Anthony Doe _MMA. Yes, I got it right. Anthony Doe _MMA.
Yeah. Anthony Doe _MMA. And then follow Chris. What's your brother's name? Your brother's handle's like X what?
I click that picture right there. He'll be on there.
Okay, hold on. Before we end it,
Huh.
like you guys who took all these photos when you guys are at the beach?
This was in San Diego. So we went down to see my sister Priscilla, her husband Brandon, and their daughter Soraya. So I finally got to meet my first niece.
Yeah.
You know, and that was super special. So Chris has this dope camera, and I think it was my sister Priscilla taking some of these shots. Like her husband Brandon, they're walking around
right here.
grabbing some dope stuff. Yeah, we did. We pulled out the speed ladder, doing sprints on the beach, like pad work, did some like light sparring and drilling. It was a really good time.
And it's funny because like the moment that Anthony takes off his shirt, it's like intimidating because on his back it just says Viet Pride.
First tattoo, bro. I got that in when I was like 14 or,
Like
or
you got
15
it
or something.
blasted. It's not
Blasted.
even like small. It's like first tattoo. I'm gonna get B at Pride. Like fuck, dude.
It's like the biggest tattoo, probably. Yeah.
But yeah, Anthony's Chris's Instagram is where's it at?
Shoot. Yeah. Go back to that first one. It's like C-Doe. Yeah. Oh, there you go. C-Doe 408.
Yeah, C-Doe 408. And so go follow the Doe Brothers. Gonna be making their run soon. C-Doe's gonna be pro soon, hopefully too.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, thank you guys for listening. Subscribe, like, all that stuff. I gotta keep on saying that I hate saying, but yeah.
Shout out to the sponsors.
Yeah, shout out to sponsors. I got the commercial before then. And yeah, so Jose, hit up Anthony. He needs his pull.
I'm gonna hit you up actually, probably.
But all right, guys, love you. Peace.